needed two designers at that point. So it happened within a week itself. Designer, I use ChatGPT every single day, and I'm learning strictly electronics, nothing related to design or anything like that. That's how I got into Lenskart, and it was a miracle.
For supporting us till now. And you're gonna see amazing videos coming out this month. And I'm trying to kind of get back on my video game and like kind of transition and announce a lot of updates. So, but today we have a very special guest, Ayon, with us. He is a product designer at Flipkart, amazing product designer. And we're gonna go into his journey and how he became a product designer, how his design journey has been. So let us get him on stage and we'll start the podcast. Hey, Ayon, how are you doing?
Hey man, what's up? I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. So let's kickstart a bit of your introduction for the audience out there.
Sure. So, hi everyone, I'm Ayon Chatterjee. Uh, I'm a product designer at Flipkart. My journey started as a regular product designer, how everyone stumble upon design just because they have that passion for creativity. But I have my interest for business also. So that's how I know that, okay, business and creativity can bring me either to marketing or to product design or UI UX design. So that's how I chose. And if you go to my LinkedIn, you will see I'm an engineer turned designer. So that's how tech got involved. And here I am sitting as a product designer, currently working at Flipkart, but previously I was at Lenskart.
Sounds amazing, and I think that's a very great match because specifically like engineers do turn as designers, and you said that you wanted to understand how creativity and business kind of collides, and that's where obviously UX product design kind of plays its role. But that sounds amazing. So let's just start with like how and why design. Like, what was the time when you decided that this like design is something that you want to do? Like, how did that come into play in your life?
Correct. So for every single designer, there will be that, kida, a bug would be there inside for a creativity from the childhood. And you will know by drawing art or craft that you are good at it. You want to do something different other than every single one. A science project you got at school, you will do something very innovative. uh, I guess everyone I have talked to, they have the same journey, and that's how I knew that okay, I want to be creative. But during 11th, 12th, you know, IIT wala thing happens. So at that time, I thought that okay, I will make robots, I will create stuff, and I will create gadgets. So I will take electronics and communication, and that's how I will create good designed robots. That was my specific idea, and that's how I got into engineering. But when I got into engineering, I saw that okay, they are still studying for 1970s, 1980s textbooks, and that's the whole syllabus and the whole curriculum that's happening. I was totally bored of it. Um, then I thought, okay, this is not something that I want to do. Let's see what I can do otherwise. So I have tried my hands for every single thing like um, coding, AI, machine learning, every single bit. But sitting on a laptop and not having something creative going on in front of you, that was not my game. Like for a coder, thinking logically, finding fundamentals and finding analogies and coding that out might be interesting. But for me, seeing that black screen and just writing code, that was nothing, not for me. So that's how I got into that. Okay, there is something known as 3D design. And I will give a short story that how I got into 3D designing. I am from SRM University from Chennai, and I done my electronics over there. It was during 2015-16. At that time, there was a 3D printer that came up in our college, and those small tech teams that happens inside colleges after college evenings. You will just go there and stuff. I got into some clubs like that. And over there, I saw the 3D printer and I was amazed by that. Okay, this is something I will put my 2D model, like 2D design, and it will just print me the whole stuff. Let's do it. Let's learn it, how to start with it. I learned Blender, I learned Fusion 360, SolidWorks, and that's how my entry to design field happened. I was actually designing robots and of the whole chassis of the robot, something like a, if you can get a car or a humanoid robot, whatever parts I needed, I used to design it myself and I used to print on the 3D printer. So in the college, I was known for that. That okay, this guy is a hardware product designer. He designs stuff, hardware, and he 3D prints it. And when the 3D printer used to run, everyone used to stand outside the window and they used to see, okay, what's happening. And it was very so. After that, just some people came from my college only. Some people came that okay, you are a product designer. Can you design an interface for our app? I was like, what is interface? Like, what is you? Like, I don't know what is interface is. I just design hardware. They said that okay, try it, just try it. It's a news aggregator app. We are doing this for our final year project. So let's you just try out. Just take a week if you can. That's good. Then I stumbled upon UI UX, Adobe XD. At that time, Figma was not there, so that was very new for me. Okay, like, for me, UI and the all product interface was all about that. Okay, whoever is building it, they are designing it. That time I didn't know that okay, there can be designers who can design all those stuff. So that's when I know okay, this is something that I can do. Let's start with it. And I did. Within 3 days I learned Adobe XD. I have made the whole project. It was a shitty one, of course. If I recall what I did. But like that, I just gave them the project, and yeah, that's how my entry happened in the world of UI UX design.
Sounds really amazing because I have heard a lot of stories about different designers, and this is really unique because coming from 3D to then like UI and UX and then understanding the domain is really crazy. And I really want to know. So I'm assuming that you guys you use AutoCAD and other software to kind of
Correct.
design that, right? So like, how was that 3D space like? Because still creativity is there, right? So what kind of products did you design? And I think specifically how college helped you in that because like there was a printer in the college itself and that's how you paved your paths. So how other like you've involved yourself in other activities in the college that help you?
Correct. So it was mostly the after learning of the college that you will study from 10 to 4 or 10 to 5 at college. Yeah, I'm learning strictly electronics, nothing related to design or anything like that. So when I used to get over from my normal conventional classes, I used to go to my lab. I used to go to that space where we used to work after 5, and then I used to learn Fusion 360. Mostly I used to design on Fusion, and then I came into Blender. So uh, just a very interesting story why I came to Blender. So I am very much interested into making I'm interested into animate action figures. So you can see in behind me there's a Goku kept, right. So just like that, I used to have many action figures at that time, and I thought that okay, action figure can be printed or I can design that. Let's do that. So I designed that, and that's how I learned Blender over there. So it was always after the college that I used to learn, and thanks to college that they gave me the infrastructure to learn because there was no time limit that okay, you need to get out of the building or something like that. So I used to use college Wi-Fi and used to sit there till like 9:30, 10, like being a first year who where everyone is partying and doing every single thing. I was not that much into social activities, so I used to enjoy learning and building all those stuff, and that's how I came into Adobe XD and UX designing. Then slowly from firstly I would just design the screens. I would not know the hierarchy. I would not know what font to use. I would just see some competitors. I would see some dribble shots, and I will copy it or whatever is there. Slowly, I learned that there are fundamentals. There are some UX laws that you need to follow. There are some design system that you need to follow. For Android, you will have to follow this design system, and for iOS, you have to follow the human interface. So yeah, that's how the whole first year has spent like that. So yeah, that's how I build up myself during my college days.
Sounds amazing because can go deep, I think we'll understand more how that all then evolved to the first gig and everything. But that's really amazing because I think I've heard from a lot of folks that when they started out, that specifically the 3D printer thing. I think I know that mechanical students do, like automobile engineering, like they do these stuff, but specifically in those domains. But that's really interesting by being that electronic engineering, still you kind of pursue other domains, use whatever opportunity that you got and to kind of figure out the path, which really sounds amazing. Uh, so then how did you got your first gig? How did you figure out that path to that? Like design is something that can make you money and that you want to choose it.
Right. So before that, you, even if to take, I knew that, okay, I want to do something in designing, but I thought that, okay, maybe I would do something with 3D designing itself, like hardware design and 3D printing those stuff, or going to factory molds and stuff. I was thinking that I would go into that direction. But when I came to product design, my whole pathway changed. That, okay, this is something I can actually explore. So before, what is payment technique, right? That how you need what you have learned, you will be teaching that and you will get great at it. So for 3D designing, that's what I used to do. I used to learn all the AutoCAD things and all the basic principle of 3D design and hardware design, and I used to teach my mechanical uh, what is friends? Yeah, 10 to 15 mechanical students would be sitting in front of me, and I used to teach them that how the AutoCAD works, how every single thing works, and that's how I grew my confidence. Same happened with the product design. I learned myself, and then I took like 4 or 5 students, 4 or 5 chaps, and then they sat in front of me. They were mostly from computer science and IT. They were starting with HTML and CSS, so they just wanted to learn color theory and other kind of design principles. So I just taught them that, okay, this is how we should do. After teaching, I thought that, okay, if I need to get this to be my personal, like my professional way, I will not get it from my college campus. I will not get any job from in campus or off campus like that, because I will be having a degree of electronics and I'm pursuing design. So that's when I thought that, okay, I need to turn this as my profession. I need to work right now. And how I started was doing freelancing during my first year itself. That, okay, I would be contacting some clients. I would have my account on Upwork, some freelancer.com, and one more one more is there. uh, anyway, all those freelancing websites, and then that's how I got one client, and I started working with them. My first gig where I actually worked properly, giving them proper design systems and having a user study done, was a hospitality app, like hospitality website, where people would, like, it was a B2B. So where the company would book some tables from their backend and they will be managing those stuff. So that was the main gig that went for like 3 months. So it was the same. I used to have my college from 10 to 5, and after 5 I used to sit in college and I used to design and I used to work over there and at 9:30, 10 I used to go back again. So yeah, that's how every single thing started. And consistently I got some like 3 to 4 clients over the years, and then I built my whole case study and portfolio.
Crazy, crazy. So that's really amazing because taking that route, because even I remember like when I was even then trying to figure out my journey, Fiverr, Upwork, these were the go-to websites that I was trying to go to. But it was always been difficult. So how the continuation of clients kept going? Like was it referral or like word of mouth, or like Fiverr or Upwork really help you out as well?
Firstly, when you don't know where you want to start, you will go to Fiverr and Upwork. After that, it was a word of mouth. Some gave me referrals. Some actually gave me more projects from there and itself, because they were an agency and they were taking up projects from some place and giving it to me. For me, it was good. I was getting some pocket money to just get by during my college days, and I'm building my portfolio like that. And after that, I used to contact and cold message on LinkedIn, like shamelessly. I used to cold message that, okay, this is what I can do for you. I can convert this website of yours into this. This is the and sometime I used to do UX audit for free, and then used to send the whole PDF to them that, okay, this is some problem you are having. Uh, Later, I got to know that, okay, they might get irritated because I'm taking out some fonts and mistakes they have done on their websites, and they might not like it. So after that, I started just writing that I will do a UX audit for you for free. If you like it, you can give the job of designing a good website for you. If you don't like it, it's totally free. It's up to you. Then for them, it was a win-win situation that, okay, there's no harm to get a UX audit done on my website. Let's go for it. So that's how I went cold messaging on LinkedIn. And it was hard because this beside my name, it was written student at this university, Southern University, and not a professional guy just working around. So that's when I wrote product designer, then a slash, and then I wrote like student at this pursuing electronics in this college. So yeah.
Super crazy. And I think, I mean, that's an amazing part to take, like trying to figure out clients and then figuring out your college itself. So that's amazing. But how, when did you came into the corporate? Like, when did you figure out, like, after the college, like, how that transition from college to a job happened?
Right. So that was a roller coaster, and I think right now how I did it, because it took a lot of guts, because I am a pass out of 2020, and at that time everyone was getting laid off. All the jobs were getting revoked. All the offer letter, whatever was coming, was getting revoked, and there was no job in the market due to COVID. So I had two offer letters from in-campus placement, and my college ended at May, and COVID started at March. So I was at home. Over there, I was still pursuing freelancing, and my most of my clients were outside India, so that was not a problem. But my job, what companies I got, was starting from September. So I had like 6 to 8 months time in my hand that, okay, I need to find a job before that time comes, because my parents won't let me just sit around or do freelancing if I don't get a full time job at that time. Right? So at that over those period, I had given interviews for like 50 to 55 companies, and I was a starter. So my portfolio wasn't great. I have just worked for like 5, 6 companies, but like comparing to my age, it was fine. But the market was not good. That's why no one was actually, the HRs won't reply, the something will happen. And the D-Day came, like September came, when my parents will ask me that, okay, now you have to join these company as a software developer. And I was not interested at all. I have cracked the exam, I have cracked the interviews, but it was for the sake, just for that, okay, I have some offer letters, I have a net that I can follow. But that net was not safe for me. That, okay, I will just rely on this. I took a hard call that, okay, I will not take the jobs and I will stay here. I will earn whatever I can, and let's see what happens. Give me time till March or April. If I don't get something, I will go for SDs and I will apply and I will look for the job. My parents were like, okay, take your time, take 6 months of your time, and then see what happens. Over that time, I started designing and showing it more on LinkedIn, right? So I was posting stuff on LinkedIn in a heavy rate, because I got one thing that if I need to get a job at design, I need to come in front of people. I need to be visible out there that, okay, this guy is there who is designing and who is good at it. So I used to just post like crazy that, okay, this is I'm doing, and my thing actually worked. a product manager from Lenskart actually saw my post on LinkedIn. It was next year Jan. So then he texted me in my DMs that, okay, I have seen your design and I went to your profile and saw your portfolio. I really liked how you take your methodology and how the whole design process. Sorry, the whole design process. We are hiring for a product designer. Would you like to go through the rounds and take an interview? And I was like over the moon that, okay, for Lenskart, whatever I have seen, all the product designer were all 4+ year experienced. They were not hiring any fresher or any such stuff. And that's how my whole interview process happened. Over there, I actually applied for product designer, but as per my skill, they gave me the role for UI design. And yeah, that's how I got into Lenskart. And it was a miracle that someone just came and saw my content and then texted me that, okay, you are you are in over here. I have not never applied. So interestingly, I have never applied for both of the jobs, like Lenskart or Flipkart. So yeah, I will come for the Flipkart part.
Well, that's amazing. And I really want to point out to the audience out there that one thing that really stood out in the journey and that really I think makes a lot of difference, even in my journey as well, is showing the work. And that's really important. That's really important because people who know who you are and unless you show something out there. And definitely there are certain things that we can talk about judging and like how do you want to deal with that. But showing your work out there is really important. That's how you get reached out. That's how people see what's your potential. That's how people can understand if there's a place for you in what they are doing. And it's really important out there. But I think right, I just want to get more deep into the what how did the rounds at Lenskart were like how did they just do 2 rounds, 3 rounds, or how that process went?
Hmm. So it was pretty simple at that time because they were hiring at a rapid rate. They needed 2 designers at that point. So it happened within a week itself. Firstly, a normal prelim round happened with the hiring manager and the HR. And then we went for the assignment round. I did the assignment within 2 days. I submitted the assignment, then the assignment review happened. And that's how I cleared the job. And it was just when that phone rings, when that HR is calling, and it can be either no or yes, but it would be mostly a yes because HR won't call you for saying a no. So at that time he called me and he was like, "We, what kind of salary you are expecting?" And those negotiation happened, and yeah, that was it. It took like 3 to 4 rounds at that time. But right now, what I know, Let's has actually developed and updated their interview process more. So there are like 2, 3 more rounds additional to this. So yeah, and yeah, you are actually right about the visibility part on LinkedIn or any place where you work. Like whatever you do, show it out in the world if you can. Not like, okay, you are actually showing the private data of your company, but if you can, or whatever side project you are doing, you should show it out to the world so that people know that, okay, this and like अभय बोल के कोई बंदा है जो डिजाइन कर रहा है, जो डिजाइन बना रहा है, और ये बंदा मेरे टेस्ट में, like मेरे कंपनी के हिसाब से, he is designing the exact thing what I am doing. And there are like million thousands of companies, and there are daily companies growing up, and each and every startup are getting very much design oriented. So whatever you have, show your work outside and make it a mandate that I will share one design per week on LinkedIn or on Medium or on Dribble, and that should be your norm. If you are starting out, if you are searching for a job, if you are searching for an internship, if you are in a college, design college, and you are searching for an internship, from there you should start actually making designs and pushing it out on LinkedIn, mainly LinkedIn, because LinkedIn has a wide reach right now. Down the lane, after 2 years, I don't think it would be this much, but take the whole juice out of LinkedIn if you can, and till it becomes like Instagram and Facebook, that they will not let you post more, you need to pay them to widen your audience reach. So use LinkedIn as much as you can.
Sounds crazy. So when did the lens card happen, and then how and like why did you decide to switch, and how did you kind of figure out the Flipkart route?
Right. So it was a year that happened in Lenskart, and I had no plan to switch. That okay, I would be here for like 2 years, 2 to 3 years. I will build something. I will be all right. I will be getting promoted to product designer from UI design, and that was my plan. What will happen? Um, During like it was a year that was done at Lenskart, and then I started making content again. That okay, I need to start making content. I used to write some articles, post some designs out over there, and the same thing happened. The hiring manager of Flipkart actually saw one of my design again and texted me on LinkedIn that I really like your design. We are hiring for product designer. Are you interested for the round or not? And it was from Flipkart, and Flipkart is known for its design team and its design, that design first approach. And somewhere I knew that Flipkart is also known for its interview process, how hard it is to crack interview. So I was like, okay, there's no harm to give an interview. Whatever, like whoever goes to Flipkart is like either experienced or they are from a reputed design college. So at least if I can clear 2 to 3 rounds, it would be great. I've just started. I have just started for like a year on at Lenskart. What bad would happen? So I would just go through the number of rounds they have. I guess there would be first prelim round. After that, it would be a portfolio round that will happen where you will be presenting your portfolio and your sorry, best projects. There would be a round panel of like 6 to 7 designers that would be sitting with you and would be asking questions throughout the portfolio round. After the portfolio round, there would be an assignment that would be given to you. After the assignment, then the assignment discussion round. And after that, there would be a whiteboarding round. So whiteboarding round is basically where you are given a problem statement and they will judge the approach that you are taking to solve that problem statement and what kind of solution you are coming up with. And that's what whiteboarding is. And that's it. That would be mostly the design rounds. And then again, another culture fit round that would be going on. So it would a cumulative of 6 to 7 rounds of interview that happens at Flipkart. And it is done to get the best of the best. Like, okay, you are getting past all the rounds and then you will get inside Flipkart. So that, you know, uh, the main difference I would say from Lenskart to Flipkart. At Lenskart, we are taking care of people from like 5 lakh to 10 lakh per day who are using your app, who are using your product. At Flipkart, it is going to millions, where 5 to 10 million users are using your product every single day. So that's the scale you are working at. So it has to be that much selective while going through the rounds. So yeah, and by luck or something, it just happened, and right now I'm sitting here.
Good for you. And I think that's a very rigorous process of hiring. That's what you said. When the product is at that scale, the selective process has to be there. So that like because it's all about the users, right? So at the end you are gonna cater to so many users. Like the team needs to figure out they have the best talent out there. They have the quality of people that they need. The team has to be overall combined level has to be big. But that's really amazing. I think I just want to jump to the next section that you work with Lenskart, you work with Flipkart, and I'm assuming it has been amazing. So, what kind of learnings would you say you have learned from them? Any two, three pointers that you can pull out?
God. So on the top of my mind, that would come is data. Right now, what I have worked for like last 2 3 years is at e-commerce company. At e-commerce, data matters a lot, that what kind of data is coming. Are you following the data? Are you following the analytics or the user study, what is coming up? And then you are taking a decision that, okay, what kind of process you are going through, or what kind of CDAs you are going through. Each and every single decision that you take, it has to be based on the user study or the data. For a normal, for not an e-commerce, or suppose social media app. The social media app would be totally based upon user engagement or user centric, that okay, whatever the user wants, we will be giving that. And that's where the difference between e-commerce and um, a social media app comes, that okay, in e-commerce you have to take care of the data. If you have to take care of business, that the business wants to push over here. And yeah, that's a main difference that happens between different kind of domains on design. Second would be collaboration. That many people don't know this, but Flipkart is a huge team of like 120 plus designers. So there are like at least so it is divided between 80 to 90 creative designer, where they are totally working on the illustrations and all the visuals, whatever you see on Flipkart, and the rest 30 to 40 are the product designers. So it's a huge team to manage and even to work with. So what I learned over here is the collaboration that you need to go through. uh, Whatever decision, whatever design you are making, it has to be through a process, or it has to be through a review process from the whole team. So we have many processes built up, so that everyone knows that what kind of projects are going on and who is working on what projects. So the collaboration part at Flipkart is a huge deal, because we call ourselves as individual designers, but uh, as a whole team, we are actually catering the ask whatever the BM comes, or whatever design led uh, experiments or design led projects that we can go through. So that's another point. Um, a third I would call out would be the scale. As I said, for Flipkart, it would be like 10 million users, and throughout uh, throughout the work, you will be hearing like you will be influencing some crores of difference. Like this much crore would be affected if you keep the CTA in this position, if you don't keep a CTA, if you keep an illustration over here, or if you open a bottom sheet. So that's the scale we are talking about, that your one decision can actually make a difference of crores. Either you can increment, or either you can decrement. So it's totally upon you. So yeah, that would be something you will expect when you are coming in this organizations or startups.
Super crazy because and I think that that's really impactful, and I think that's where I want to get in, that impact on how you create there, that really matters. That you need to expect that the amount, like whenever you're going to a company which is large scale, kind of impact that you're going to create is too much, like, so you have to make sure the decisions are right. That's where again the data comes in, the experience comes in, and how you make those decisions and everything. And that's amazing. So I think your journey has been super amazing, amazing kind of learnings and everything. So so I ask everyone who comes on the podcast, so what's next for you? What's next? Like, amazing journey, but what's next?
What's next for me? Okay, so there are many things that I want to cater in. Firstly, I want to grow more into the product design line. I have to learn more. I am totally into motion design and interaction design, that how motion happens, right? Second, I am going a bit into content creation. That's what my plan is. Everyone will see in some days that okay, I have started making content. So that's another route I want to go, but mainly my interest is mostly in business. So there might be a chance in deep down that okay, I would be starting up with something with someone or something like that. uh so yeah, let's see. that's the main plan. And mostly what I want to do through even through product design or through uh, content creation or startup is tell my story out there, like tell what I feel and what I perceive the world to be and what my perception is, how I see the world and how I want to tell the story to the user or the person I'm catering. So yeah, that's the plan. So basically, it's all about saying and delivering what I have inside me to the large audience. That's the only plan.
That's crazy good because I think what you just said about telling your story out there, telling your perspective is very important as we just about showing yourself how media work. And that's really impactful overall. And I think kudos to you on your journey and on your endeavors that you're trying to take. And that's amazing. So now I really want to jump right into some fun part of the podcast. We call it the rapid fire round. I'm gonna throw in some questions. So I've tried to get into a new like pattern or like series of questions. I have three options. I will ask you a question. I will give you three options. You need to choose one. If you want to explain your answer, you can. If you don't, that's okay. Cool. Let's just
100%. This is a
yeah,
hot seat. Yeah.
yes. So the first one, when starting a new design project, which aspect do you prioritize? The first one is user research and understanding. Second, ideation and brainstorming. Third, visual aesthetics and UI design.
Right. Um, if I tell from right now, like I'm working at e-commerce, it has to be UXR, that UX study, whatever is coming, what kind of data I'm getting. The data would be first. When I would be reading the data, I would have a mental image of how my user is, what kind of feelings he will be getting to, like what kind of problems he's going through. That would be the empathy I would cover. Then I would come towards what's the second point?
There was ideation and brainstorming.
Ideation and brainstorming. Yeah. The second would be the ideation and brainstorming. First, what I do, like this is my personal process. I ideate and brainstorm by myself. I would have certain, like there would be 3 to 4 categories, where 3 to 4 categories will have 3 to 4 ideations, right? I would have that chart kept by myself. I would call the team. I would give them the problem statement. I would give them such certain aspect that this is something is happening. You have 15 minutes. You have to give me 3 or 4 kinds of exploration, that what kind of things you would do or what kind of things you would solve. So I would give that. That's how I would come with certain explorations and brainstorm. And then, of course, aesthetic and UI would come after that. So it's not a priority that I have to choose between them. It would be a process. So that would be something number one, number two, and number three. So all the threes are important, but it would be a process to go through.
Sounds amazing. So the next one, when it comes to user feedback, which method do you find most valuable? First, usability testing. Second, surveys. Third, user interviews.
First would be user testing, second user interviews, and third surveys. Survey at third because survey, you are actually planting the question by yourself. User has to give the answer accordingly. But in a user testing, they are free to do anything. They are free to feel whatever they are doing, and I will have more independence that how the user is actually working with my design. It would be a clean slate where there would be no questions asked, or I would not have a preconceived notion that okay, this a user would be doing something like this or that. If for a survey, I would be feeling something like that. But for a user testing or a user interview, that would not be the case. So, yeah.
Great. Next one. So, how do you approach incorporating accessibility features in your design? First, you conduct accessibility audits. Second, you follow the WCAG guidelines. And third would be collaborating with accessibility experts or consultants.
Third, collaborating with accessibility experts. Mostly, it would be a team collaboration that happens, and then we go to the expert that what kind of things do you think I'm missing out, and then they would be pointing out that okay, you might be missing on these aspects. You need to cover that, and that's how we will go.
Oh, crazy. Next one. Which design principle or concept did you consider most important for creating intuitive user experience? Options are: first one, consistency and familiarity; second, simplicity and minimalism; third, feedback and affordance.
Simplicity and minimalism. That would be something that I follow by my heart. That uh, anything that cannot be learned or that has a learning curve, that might be a hard at first, but if it's simple, if someone is getting it that okay, I am doing this by myself, they will have that wow factor. Okay, oh damn, I did that by myself. Suppose someone who is coming to Flipkart at the first for the first time, or some e-commerce app, and they are going through the funnel, like from searching the product till maybe paying out. If we are not guiding them, okay, tap here or tap there, they are just going through it. And I'm considering this for tier 3 or tier 4 low affluent people. For them to come up with this, that opens up a new possibilities for them. That okay, I'm like, I don't consider myself tech savvy or I don't understand tech, but I have ordered something online. They will keep the phone and they will go outside their room, and they will call their mom, dad, or their spouse that okay, see, I have ordered something. So having that intuitiveness, having that simplicity on your app, and letting the user find the way by themselves is something that user will feel good about themselves, and then as a designer, I would feel good. So yeah.
Oh, sounds amazing. The last question I have in this one is: would you prefer, with the boom of AI, I just have this one question. So, would you prefer designing just by, would you prefer designs made by AI, or would you prefer designs which are made with assistance of AI?
Of course, assistance with AI, because right now AI don't have that human touch, that human emotion involved in it. What kind of empathy that we as a designer can understand for our users, an AI cannot do that. That's what, Naval Ravikant said, that the creative paradigm would be the last thing that AI will actually revolutionize. But there he was not wrong, because we can see AI has actually disrupted the content and like the creative field itself for the first, as a first aspect. But AI has a generalized intelligence. It's not that is very specific for something or someone. Chat GPT, if you call Chat GPT or Mid Journey, it's very generalized. That okay, this is if I write a very nice prompt about something, I need this product or design that I need to create for an e-commerce app or for a social media app, and suppose and whatever, then they can give a script or a prompt or an article about that as ChatGPT or Midjourney will give some UI designs as very generalistic, which you will find in Dribble right now. But that human touch, that what my user needs, what my user feels, what when they will be touching or they will be interacting with it, that would be from a human itself. It cannot be given from an AI. So take the help of AI. Take all the help you can get. As a designer, I use ChatGPT every single day, and Midjourney, right now Adobe Photoshop, to just how they are actually working with all the generate fill, and they are just creating everything. That's crazy. But yeah, we are actually working with AI assisted, and we are building our product. So it would be always AI assisted. And if you are like, to the audience, if you are not a AI assisted designer, please get on board with AI, or you are missing out on many actions. Don't just see content of that. Okay, you can do this or do that. Do yourself and test it out.
Agreed. I think I even recently wrote a post about this, that And nowadays, too much content around AI is being like every reel, every shorts is like every video, next video is like 10 tools that you can find, 5 tools that you can find. And you will figure out at the end of the day, you have 10,000 tools, but no execution power. So the first point and everything that's really important nowadays is how you want to utilize these tools in your process. And that's people should that's what people should really learn and people should really think about. And I think that's where we come to our last question of the whole podcast. So
Okay.
your amazing journey, your amazing experiences with Let's Heart Flipkart, and your amazing answers and knowledge perspective. But now, what one piece of advice would you be able to give to the audience out there who are budding designers who are trying to get into the industry, figuring out all the things? What one piece of advice would you share to them?
Okay. That's just one. Okay. So, firstly, whatever we discussed, I guess the best thing what we actually came up with was show your work outside, right? Show your work outside. Show how you are there as a designer. Show your name over there that you are making something. Whatever, how shitty your design is, that doesn't matter. Just put it out. LinkedIn is there to criticize you. It will comment that, okay, this is something you are doing wrong. Take it positively, take it constructively. That is totally fine. Second, don't focus on tools, focus on processes and getting the skill that you have. Suppose you have to make a sculpture, right? You will have a chisel, you will have a hammer, you will have screwdriver, you will have sharpies, and every single thing. It doesn't matter that what tool you are using to build the sculpture, but you don't have the basic knowledge that where to actually hit or where to actually carve or how much effort I need to put over there, that won't matter. You will start beating your sculpture with hammer, it won't give any result. So don't focus on tools. Tools will come when you will need it. Just like, suppose as a product designer, you don't know Figma or you don't know Adobe XD. Take a paper, take a pen, just draw by your hand that, okay, this is something, this is the wireframe I'm creating. This is how it would look. Then go under Dribble, just see what kind of designs are there. After that, you will see that, okay, someone is using Figma. I would use Figma, and then you will design the whole thing out there. You will feel that, okay, I need some illustration, but those illustrations are not there. Let's use Midjourney. Then you will give some prompt. Then you will learn how to use prompts. That's how you will go. Suppose you need a copy for a social media app over where you are actually describing that, okay, this is something that will help a blind person, a social media app for blind person. What kind of copy will you give? Learn ChatGPT at that time that, okay, what kind of this and these are the prompts, these are the things, what kind of copy I should give. Just it will come as a copy and paste. That's how you will learn. So don't focus on tools, focus on processes, and just upskill yourself.
Sounds crazy and sounds really neat advice for people out there. So thanks, Ayon, for coming in. Thanks a lot for sharing your journey, sharing all the advice to the people out there. I'm definitely gonna leave your social for all the upcoming and amazing content that you're going to post, and people should be stay tuned for that. And people will reach out to you if they need any help, if they figure out anything, if they are want to ask anything. And thanks a lot for taking out time. And thanks a lot everyone who's watching this for taking out time and listening to the end. And thanks, Jan, for coming in.
Thanks, Abhay. You were amazing. You were an amazing host, and the whole process was really nice. And I would love to come back.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. Thank you, guys. Bye.